face. Change my face. Change my name. Change my name. I'm alone. You make me feel like I am young again. I'm alone. You make me feel like I am fun again. I will fly away. I will always love you. How long I stay, I will always love you. Whatever word I say, I will always love you.
Okay, our next performers are nominated for Best Duo and Best New Band. Derek, Jordan, Gregg, and Sean Poe of the Hive Minds.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Derek, Jordan, Gregg. This is London on bass. Sean Poe with the Hive Minds. Darling, could I change your mind if I wait for on brevity? Overcome and stay beside you, cold on love longevity. I'm seeking you, blowing I'm with you. I'm seeking you, oh. La 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 la, la la la, ooh, yeah. Thank you guys. We're the Hot Minds.
Burdon, and welcome to the Coachella Valley Music Show. Today we're featuring Mark, Gregg, and Derek. Gregg, they're local musicians and talent. Welcome.
Thanks.
So excited to meet you guys finally. I've heard a lot about you. He's all nice and tender. Let's see. Come on, give me a real headshot. That's about all I'm. Small down, come on. In the desert, we shake a little bit first. Come on, up more. There we go. Give me that time. Good job. I'm like Lego. No. So I'm gonna talk to your dad first, just because he's sitting right next to me. So I think I'll talk to him first. But did you come to the desert at a certain age, or were you born here?
No, I came here for a gig in
No way, really?
1994, yeah.
And you just loved it, or how did that happen?
I got home friend.
A woman, that's a deal.
And I got some great gigs. I played at Costa's, the Marriott, and Bananas, and Cecil's, and
Before it burned down.
Hayes, and B.B. O'Brien's. So I got all these great gigs. Next thing you know, it just wasn't worth it to travel anymore. So I just stayed here.
Really?
And then I met his little brother's mother, and he's a 12-year-old little brother, so young son here.
So you kind of just stayed in the desert.
This is home.
You were able to find shows. I just think that's awesome. I've heard a lot about both of you, and so I've also heard that you have an acoustic show. Can you tell me a little bit about something that has to do with Stomp?
Yes,
like
yes.
that. What is
Mark Gregg Acoustic Stomp Show, trademark.
trademark?
Yeah, it was born out of a need. I
Get a
played
giggle. Keep laughing. That's how you always feel about your parents, by the way.
Yeah.
I think that relationship's
Yeah, we'll never tell.
Good.
Yeah, I played in rock bands, and I love playing electric guitar, and I did that for a living for many, many years, 20, 30, 50 years.
Don't give your age. It's okay.
So, and I got out of a long-time gig I had in Palm Springs over 15 years playing electric guitar. My band opted to stay at the venue, so I had no gig, no band. And the venues weren't hiring a lot of bands anyway, so I did some band gigs and stuff. And it was uncomfortable, I think, because I was really used to having my own thing under good control.
Right.
And I didn't have that anymore, so I started doing some acoustic shows, and I found that I was competing with a lot of local musicians here who were using tracks, which is tracks being
Tracking tracks.
yeah, kind of like if you go to karaoke and you hear people sing
Correct,
like
yeah.
that, although it wasn't exactly like that. They have a lot of them make their own. It's custom stuff. I'm not comparing it to karaoke, but just to give
I
an
understand,
idea.
yeah.
So it's a full sound. They actually have a band without having a band, so I had to develop a style. So what I did is I made a little porch. I stuck a bass drum microphone under it and ran it through a subwoofer for low end and played it on the 2 and the 4. So it's, and then just on the guitar. And then played guitar and sang over that. So instant band.
And people just felt that.
Start dancing to it and stuff.
Wow.
And because I have a vast repertoire, I can say so to myself. And I
You can.
incorporate an iPad to request of songs that I don't know. I can download them instantly, and
Right.
it gives me a lot of breadth that I think that maybe people with tracks. I don't care how many tracks you have. I can go a lot of places, by myself.
By yourself without a band.
Yes.
So your band is Dude Jones. What is Dude Jones?
don't know.
I need to know. Because I haven't.
Do you want to tell the story?
I think I know it well enough.
Do you know it?
by now,
Probably you've heard it a
but,
couple times.
You do it better. You got
I'm
your devices.
going to be honest. I haven't seen your show. So I want to know
Where
what
you
Dude.
been?
Well, I've been under a rock for the last. Stay! Don't go!
Riley.
No, I mean seriously. Who is Dude Jones? Is it your
Who is
alter
Dude
ego?
Jones?
What is that?
All right, real quickly. Jesse James. You guys know Jesse James? Jesse James. Okay, he gave up robbing trains, and so he bought a little house in West Texas with his best friend. He had like a $50,000 bounty on his head. His best friend shot him in the back for the money. They dying, his best friend like weeping over him, and he's
Really
he was
dramatic.
trying to hear what he's saying. He said, the last words he said before he died was, Dude Jones.
No way.
Yeah.
Is that your story?
True story.
No, I don't believe it. I'm gonna have to look it up.
I got another one.
Okay, let me hear the other version.
All right. I used to be a meth dealer, big meth dealer in Hemet, California. One of my clients was Don Knotts. Don Knotts. He used
I
to
know
drive me nuts
exactly
because
who
Don
Don Knotts is.
Knotts on meth is a nightmare, man. He's just like in my living room, won't freaking leave. He's like saying, see, everybody's dude this and Jones for this and dude this. And then I just call you Dude Jones. I threw him out. I said, don't ever come back. I threw him out. And I was just driving down the street in my '69 Cadillac, just cruising, and for some reason it hit me, and I pulled over and I was laughing my ass off. It was just the funniest thing I heard. Dude Jones. So that was it.
You're like, Dude Jones.
Yeah.
That's
And
it.
I knew if I used that name, the guys I was playing with the band. and it worked, and they quit. So
And that's why you're by yourself in an acoustic show.
no, that was this was like 50 years ago. So this was
So,
like
what, you know, in researching you, because I found a lot about your son, Gregg, and, you know, growing up with a musical father, I can understand the influence that he may have had on you. So, what influences directing directing the conversation with your son? Like, what influence did your dad have on you?
You know, my dad and my mom worked together for most of my years. You know, I used to visit in the summer and stuff like that. I would see the shows and stuff, but I didn't catch on until I was 15. And most of the time spent learning was spent on my own. It's genetics, man. It's a trip.
It is.
Honestly, I've never gotten a lesson in my life. There was definitely like this silhouette of a man in my head. Like, you know, we didn't become really close until a couple years ago. Until we got here.
Right.
But there was always that in my head, like, you know, that guide, that inspiration. That's what I want to do. Is, you know, I want to be that. I had this iconic position in my head. But really, there was like almost. There was little to none, like sitting down, like going over something, you know, like
Of course,
maybe
yeah.
some riffs in my like really early years, but I didn't think it was that. I didn't get it until I was like 15. You know?
You know, and just touching on that, like, is there a song that would remind you of your father that you thought
I
of?
had his album when I was younger. I used to listen to that a lot.
Right.
I know a lot of the tracks on that, and then of course there's countless. Obviously, you go to the cliche like "Cats in the Cradle." You know, obviously that one.
But that's priceless. I
Right.
mean, who turns on the radio or listens to a specific album and feels their father
You.
there with me? You know, but it's ironic that you mentioned that, because someone mentioned the other day about hearing their dad, who happened to be one of the guys from War, not Lonnie Jordan, but one of the other guys. The guy lives in Croatia, of all places. He's the son of one of the guys from War, and he's like, I heard my dad coming through, and he wrote this blog about my father's voice coming through the speakers. And I responded with, you know, most of the time it brought me to tears, you know, to hear how Surrendered Son was like pain for me, because, you know, I always wanted my dad close to me and him being on the road and certain situations, but for you, he was closer, he was here, you know, and
not
You
famous.
know,
That helps.
it doesn't, you know, yeah, I mean, that helps a little bit, but
Like I lived in, you know, I grew up in Oregon.
But your
so-
dad performing those songs, you know, shit, I mean, I would think reminds you of like childhood
He
memory.
grew up in Oregon. I lived in California,
So it's kind of, you know.
So still, yeah, when you hear like Cats in the Cradle, like you're saying,
But that's just,
that's
you know,
good. That's good.
yeah.
there's a lot of stuff, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I liked, you know, but I was lucky enough to get to come in, but only till like 10 or 11, you know, I was a kid.
But it is genetics, you know, you can spend, and that goes to show like adoption people, people that are adopted, they did not spend their entire life with somebody and still have that like writing, or, you know, like to me, I'm on the way to work and I'll look at the river or Whitewater and I'll be like, you know, all of a sudden it's a song. And I grab my iPhone and I'm like, oh, here's the song, you know, I record whatever. So I know that you guys need music being playing, I'm sure though.
I jam with your dad.
Did you?
Yeah. I talk to him, run across each other all the time. He's a great guy.
I mean,
He's
being
fun.
here in the desert especially,
He's
yeah.
a riot. You know?
Yeah.
I always go, hey, do you need a guitar player? He goes, no, you know any good drummers? Every time I see him.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny because I would take him, I was telling someone else that I used to hang out in the 19 Colts for one of my birthdays. I'm like, come sing karaoke with me.
He
He's
used to
like,
play there.
I'm like, come sing karaoke with me. And he's like, all right, come on. And then next thing you know, he's dancing with my best friend. And I'm like,
Ah!
wait a second. Oh, this is a good idea. Because he might, you know, hook up with my best friend. Then what am I going to do? You know.
Get a new best friend.
Yeah. Hopefully she doesn't become my mother-in-law.
Oh, boy.
You know, that could be possibly, you know,
Chubbies, man, whatever.
That could work out, maybe.
it doesn't help when you're a child and a daughter, and it's a little bit different. When you're a man, you're like, right on. Dad, go ahead, get that young lady, but when you're a daughter, it's tough. You know, and I was, in listening to you, I was like nudging my 17-year-old son. I'm like, listen to this kid on YouTube, you're amazing.
So
And
you gotta check out the
But he hit a record.
Yeah, no, and there's actually a song you can go on. You can go online. We have our first single out. It's called Firewater. www.thehivemindsmusic.com. It's like a teaser. It's a quick 3 minute, 30 second little folk ditty kind of reminiscent of some like Johnny Cash. It deals with like the way that people cope with problems and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've looked into your stuff, and I'm just, and I met, like I said, my 17-year-old son is really into music, and that's another thing. What do you think about today's music? Like the other, not just local big music festivals that we might have here, but what do you think about
like pop music, mainstream music,
or techno? And
I can't get into it. It kind of can be very irritating.
That's funny that you say that.
That's genetic.
People get this. Well, I think that people have all this stuff shoved down their throat, and it's kind of like, whoever has the most money,
computer generated music,
producer stuff.
It's,
well, they have
wallpaper.
Exactly. And people, I think if real stuff was put on the air and stuff like that, people would gravitate towards good music. They just don't know what good music is anymore because it's all shoved down their throat.
Right.
They just force feed this crap. I can't get into it. It's I try not to be jaded. I think that I'll be able to pull off something with lyrical music career, and whether it be touring and have like a decent fan base, or whether it really escalates.
Right.
But there's definitely these people that are making it hard for me just because they've got so much money in production. They can auto-tune this crap and play somebody else's song that was written for the audience. I write my stuff and it's honest, and I try to understand people's emotions. So I definitely think about what people are going to relate to. But I don't write something going, oh yeah, they're going to love that. That's not art. That's catering to a hungry public, and it's not music anymore.
His lyrics that I notice is he can write from like a feminine point of view. I think it's difficult for a lot of guys to do that. And a lot of the big people like Tom Petty and stuff like that can do that as well. So I think that women really identify with your lyrics. It doesn't really bother his mother just cries over this stuff. It's lyrically, I have trouble doing it. Stephen Hawking or something.
It's just that.
Yeah. So and it's a real gift that he has. If you look at his lyrics, I think they cut across. It's just not male-centric stuff. Which a lot of stuff, guys like stuff like Led Zeppelin, Queens of the Stone Age, whatever. It's very male-centric. Females relate necessarily to the lyrics. His stuff is different.
And that's why I was just singing or writing a song the other day that had to do with a little bit of country, a little bit of rock and roll, a little bit of blues, a little bit of country brings the girls around. And that's why country is so mainstream, is because they center their music towards women and the party and the drinks and what's going on. So it's kind of amazing that.
And women and men look at music differently, I've noticed. Women use music almost as a soundtrack for the movie that they're starring in every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's
or the next breakup, or what decision they're going to make.
And men see music differently. I think it's that way with art. I think it has to do with development, to attract females or whatever. You don't even know you're doing it. It's a big peacock tail, so to speak. And you don't even know you're doing it. It's just something you didn't choose to have. It's just
right.
And it's a pain in the ass. It gets you in trouble. There it is.
That's just like, yeah. And what do you think about? And as far as YouTube, I know that you use YouTube to venture out into the public. What do you think that's a good way to venture out into the music business, or what do you think about YouTube?
I'm gonna throw myself under the bus a little bit. But if I could remember my YouTube password, I probably would have deleted those videos.
Oh, really?
I don't think they're any good.
Well, that's a great answer.
Compared to the
that's
record,
what I want to know.
Compared to the record,
Yeah, I really got to figure out that password because those are okay, but they're not even as good as me playing live. Not even. It was just at that time I didn't have a band, and that's why I kind of developed the opposite style that he has, where he's got the one and the what do you do, 1 and the 3? Yeah. I play and I use my finger on the inside of the mouth of the guitar, and I smack against it for like a 2 and a 4, like because I didn't have a band, so it was kind of the same thing I was going for, but. I didn't have a band. I had to venture out there some way. Yeah, it's just a way to get yourself heard. I think you can pick up a lot of views like that, but with an acoustic guitar, no shtick, no naked chicks in the video, no kitties, no little
no meow meow.
Yeah,
kitties.
Yeah, if I had like cats all over my head and my face, and cats coming out of my guitar hole, maybe a little cat like strumming one note. maybe I could get like a viral video, but for that was just showing everyone what I was doing, you know, a way to get it across, to feel like I was doing something productive. Yeah, because it took me a year. You know, I got fired from some piece of crap dishwashing job or something in Oregon. He's like, sweet, you need to be playing music for a living, come down here. And he let me hang out for like a year, just kind of figuring myself out.
Yeah.
Then we played in a band. I went to a lot of jams and stuff, which was a good way for me to meet my members. And now it's a whole different thing. It's interesting because I'm trying to translate all these guitar, all the stuff that was written totally by myself, because I didn't have a band. I was trying to write all this stuff, and now on the album I'm trying to write it into a full band thing. So that's a challenge, but. Yeah,
where can we find your new album once it's released? Do you have a label or?
The website that I said earlier, www.hiveminds.com.
Perfect.
Hivemindsmusic.com. Sorry.
Okay.
It's totally independent. We're recording with Desert Music Productions. You can find it online, and we're going to print a couple hard copies, but we're mostly going to focus on the digital.
And you, Dad?
Sullivan's on El Paseo, Palm Desert, every Thursday and Saturday, 6:30 p.m. And then right now, Fridays at Pete's Hideaway in Palm Springs.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing you guys, and I know the public does. So thank you guys.
Hi, everybody. I'm Trini Lopez, and you're watching Coachella Valley Music Show.
You're good to go.
The song's called Love's Longevity. This is one I wrote a couple years ago, and it's going to be on the upcoming album, self-titled Hive Minds. My dad's going to back me up on it. I'm always bathing in praise of your sunshine, brighten up the day sky. I cannot lie, it's so nice. The time in your sunlight, tender mouth standing, this gravity's growing. You smile upon me and fondly in the dawn, see all the fall leaf fall beside me, baby. Oh, you could save me. Oh, pretty baby. Oh, you could save me. Your eyes are so low whenever we are alone. Little girl, ba ba da ba. And I want you to know that you encourage me with all of the love you've shown. Show smile. Soft pale blue eyes rise, it's a shot from sunlight. Early in the morning while I'm pouring, minute distorting, like at the door when we performing. Baby, oh, you could save me. Oh, pretty baby, oh, you could save me. Your eyes are so low whenever we are alone. Little girl, ba ba da ba. But I want you to know that you encourage me with all of the love you show. With all the love you show.
Thanks to our bartender, to everybody. Tip your bartenders. We have a great